Hey, good morning, my friends. MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa here. Update for you on severe weather. The threat is lessened. I had written a post or a text yesterday that I felt like we would go this way, but there's still a chance of an isolated patch of hail in the southern part of the state. I'll show you the outline there, but generally we're going to be on the north, cooler side of the storm system with a possible tornado outbreak, full-fledged severe weather outbreak to our south if you're heading into Indiana, Illinois, Ohio over the next 12 to 24 hours. You should know about that. And Tom Ramsey brings up the first most important point, that it's raining in Freeport already. It's very hard in Michigan, good thing, to have severe weather after the rain starts, after a general rain starts, because it just kind of stabilizes the atmosphere. Never say never in weather, but it makes it a little bit more difficult. So let's get on into it and show you the latest updated severe weather threat map, and you can see where I'm talking about with everything being scooted a little bit to the south, at least the more substantial stuff. So the darker green in the southern third of the state is what we would call a marginal risk. It's the first level of risk in severe weather. The tornado risk has been shifted to south of the Michigan border. That makes sense, and the main risk for tornadoes way to our south. And then the damaging wind risk, the brunt of it from Fort Wayne southward, but you'll notice that up to about Grand Rapids, Lansing, Oakland County southward, including Ann Arbor and Detroit, still a 5% chance of an isolated quick damaging wind gust somewhere, and still a 5% chance of 1-inch hail or larger, Grand Rapids, Lansing, Detroit southward. Hail is pretty easy to form at this time of the year because it's still fairly cold aloft. All right, so radar forecast for you here, and it gives you good feel that we've got a pretty wet day with some embedded thunderstorms. We go through the morning to noon and 1 o'clock, 2 and 3 o'clock. So if you got into a hailstorm, Ann Arbor, Detroit, Monroe, far southeast, I would say it's probably somewhere between 1 and 3 o'clock this afternoon. So park the good car in the garage. Park the Camaro or the Mustang or the Dodge Challenger, one of those two, in the garage. And then here is this evening. So you can get embedded little bursts of thunderstorms anywhere in the southern half of the state today. Overnight, midnight right there, the rain comes to an end and leaves us with a fairly dry Friday and, you know, not too cold of a Friday. Here's another model showing that. So as we get into the late afternoon and evening, that's when my friends and neighbors in Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, what we call the Tri-Cities and the Thumb, get into some thunder, I guess you could call it thunderstorms. And then here's Friday, and it generally looks like a dry day. Look at way up to the northwest and western UP. That's the cold front that is coming this way. So total rainfall going to be a solid March soaker, and we need it. 1/2 inch to 3/4 a lot of places, other spots 4/10. Along the southern border maybe over 1 inch. We can certainly use the rainfall, as most of lower Michigan is ranked as abnormally dry. Eric Briggs, quick question. Do you feel like the weather we have is climate change or just an earth cycle? Eric Briggs, quick answer to a long thing that we can talk about long is, yeah, we're in a warming phase, and it's probably influenced by man, but there are a lot of things that we don't know about, like volcanoes under the water that could make you know, warmer oceans, and that is a big part of climate change, is the warmer oceans. Kylie Aldridge, North Branch just rain? Yeah, probably. Maybe some rumbles of thunder in there. Okay, so modeling out next 10 days to show you that we are going to be turning colder. Remember, your red line is the freezing line. So here's our rain coming through today. And tomorrow, not a bad day. Tomorrow will be a warm day, but not compared to what we've had. Here's Saturday, and then here's Sunday. Notice the northwest wind developing, and here's Monday, and look at that. That's snow showers. Cyclonic flow is what I call it around the Great Lakes. That's unstable, colder air, and then we get the snow showers. And look at Tuesday afternoon into Wednesday. That's another reinforcing shot of some cold air and some authentic snow showers. Maybe you get an inch or two. You know, maybe it's cold enough to stick on the grass. Maybe cold enough to stick on the pavement for a short time. By late next week, we go back to a southwesterly wind. At any time, southwest wind's going to get us back into the 40s and 50s. But you should know that, you know, starting Sunday, and I'm going to say through April 5th, we're going to be, you know, more cooler than normal, then warmer than normal. High temperatures today still make it to 60 from I-94 southward, otherwise 50s, and that's still warmer than normal. And tomorrow in the 50s, still warmer than normal by 10 degrees or so. And hey, I'm going to try this name. Good morning, Matteo Pagliani. Good morning. I'm going to try this name too. Bill Fitzpatrick. Thanks for watching. This is MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa. Saturday ahead of the cold front, still pretty mild in the southeast half of lower Michigan, in the 50s to near 60. 40s Traverse City, northern lower, and then 30s in the UP. Then look at Sunday, and that's deceiving because that's probably a falling temperature day, so it turns colder into the 30s as we go through the afternoon. Look at Monday. This model has held steady on this from 10 days out to now 5 days from now, looking at temperatures in the 30s and maybe even only in the 20s in Traverse City northward. Tuesday's wintry in the 30s. That's the March we've come to know and hate. Most people hate March weather in Michigan because it is all over the board, from winter to spring, back to winter, back to spring, to who knows what. And this is Wednesday, still chilly. And then Thursday we get a southwest wind. We're right back up in the 50s, and Friday, and this indicating another burst of some cold air about March 23rd, March 24th, March 25th. I could see that as definitely being possible. Again, my theory that into early April, we will be somewhat cooler than normal, and definitely it'll feel like a shock compared to what we've had. We've had some pretty abnormal warm weather for this time of the year, so get ready. Next week is back to the March we know and hate here in Michigan, where everything can fall out of the sky. The temperatures can be cold, it can be a bone chiller, you can have your spring hopes dashed. But we do know that spring will finally, eventually, permanently spring. Probably going to be in first week of April or so, when temperatures steady back out to 50s, some 60s, and be really more common. I don't see this as being a flip-flop that lasts through all of April as a depressing weather pattern. So, hey, take care, and thanks for joining me on the MLive Morning Weather Update. I'm MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa. Have a great Thursday. We only got one more day in the work week. Bye.